There has been never a better computer to be at the forefront of my living space than the new 2021 iMac from Apple. It was designed from the ground up to be a computer that was meant to be seen. And in today's video, I'm excited to share with you my 2021 M1 iMac kitchen desk setup. Let's start with the centerpiece, which is the 2021 iMac in silver. I decided to go with the silver color because I felt it best matched the black, white, and gray theme of my condo. I'm probably one of the select few who actually really like the fact that Apple put white bezels on the iMac. I have my iMac facing against a white wall, so having white bezels, it almost blends in the background and I don't even really notice them. I just see the screen on my day-to-day computing. If Apple were to have included black bezels, well, I would see them all the time and it would just look out of place in my opinion. As for the specs of my computer, I went with the 8-core GPU and 8-core CPU model. The main reason I went with this one is that it comes with 2 USB 4 Thunderbolt ports and 2 additional USB 3.1 Gen 2 ports. I wanted to minimize the need for additional ports on my setup on my kitchen. I just wanted it to look as minimalist as possible, so I wanted every port that I could get. I also decided to stick with the 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. I stuck with 8 gigabytes because that amount of RAM is still sufficient for me to do any kind of video editing and photo editing for the stuff that you see here on the channel. And I also went with the base storage of 256 gigabytes as I prefer to use expandable portable storage from companies like Samsung. I use a Samsung T5 to edit all of my videos on this channel. Also, anyone who's considering getting the base model iMac, or if you already own an existing Mac, a software that I always recommend installing on your computer is Clean My Mac X. It's one of the first installs I do for every Mac that I purchase here on the channel, just to make sure that it's running as fast as possible. So if you guys are interested in that all-in-one cleaning software, I'll leave a link in the description down below. As for the keyboard, I decided to go with the included Magic Keyboard that comes with Touch ID. I love the fact that it's color matched to the silver iMac. And I also love the inclusion of Touch ID. Having that on there makes it incredibly easy to sign in to macOS, as well as make Apple Pay purchases biometrically with just my finger. The keys and the typing experience on this keyboard is very responsive, and it's actually one of the main reasons why I went with Apple-based accessories instead of from third-party companies like Logitech. For some reason, and I have no idea why, third-party accessories on M1 devices just have like really bad Bluetooth latency issues. Disconnecting, there's lag, and it's not a smooth experience. But for some reason, Apple-based accessories like their Magic Keyboard is incredibly responsive, and it's even more important to have responsiveness when it comes to using your mouse, and that's what I'm going to be talking about next, which is the Magic Trackpad. Yes, I decided not to use a traditional mouse and to instead use the Trackpad from Apple to control my Mac operating system. The main reasons are that the Magic Trackpad is more intuitive, more modern, and overall just more futuristic feeling in my opinion. The finger swipe gestures to navigate and control macOS are incredibly convenient to use. And the Magic Trackpad is also really easy to use when it comes to video editing. I find it's way easier to navigate my video editing timelines with a Magic Trackpad than a traditional mouse from Logitech or Apple. I'm gonna pause the video for just a moment. If you guys are enjoying this video, please do drop a like down below and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. You guys have no idea how a like and subscription goes such a long way in helping me make more videos here every single week. And we're on our road to 15,000 subscribers. So that's just, man, that's exciting. But anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna get back to the video. As for the fancy thing to the right of my computer, it's a Belkin 3-in-1 MagSafe wireless charger stand. It was designed from the ground up to take advantage of the iPhone 12's MagSafe charging feature. You get a total of 15 watts that goes directly to your iPhone via the MagSafe mount, as well as the ability to charge your Apple Watch and AirPods. I actually plan on making a full review of that stand for my channel, so look out for a dedicated video very soon. But something to keep in mind is that this stand is not cheap. It's $149.99. However, I do think the stand is worth the price, and it's because, one, the floating iPhone design is just impressive to look at. I love the way that this stand looks, but also because of the fact that cheaper wireless charging stands on Amazon from these unknown companies, although they're cheap, they're always incredibly unreliable and they break very easily. I always found I was going through a lot of cheap wireless charging stands that would always add up to the cost of the expensive ones that were built from the ground up from companies like Belkin that work directly with Apple. So I've kind of adopted the mindset of steering away from third-party accessories when it comes to Apple-based products. For some reason, Apple manufactured accessories always work better than third-party ones. I mean, it's a common theme throughout this video, but I truly do believe it. To the right of the stand, I am rocking the Google Nest Hub display. I like to have it there because I can ask Google basic things like the weather or directions to a destination I'm trying to get to. It's also nice because, again, this is in my kitchen, so I do use the Hub for timers, for looking up recipes whenever I'm cooking and working at the same time. I also love the visual aspect of the Google Nest Hub. It really is a killer feature of the device. It's just so nice to be able to see and visualize all of the information that Google is telling you. And I also love the fact that it doubles as a photo slideshow, so I can always see my photos kind of roll through every day, and it's nice to see my memories. And because of all of this, I've found it very hard to leave the Google Home ecosystem and fully dive myself into an Apple-enabled HomeKit smart home. I personally feel like Apple got smart homes wrong. Like, they started off wrong, but they are getting better. I really hope one day that they finally acknowledge that smart hubs and displays are things that people want. And if they made a Siri-enabled display, I mean, they can take my money and I would probably stop using Google Home at that point. Speaking of Siri and smart homes, to the right of the Nest Hub display is the HomePod Mini. I don't use this as an iMac speaker, but I do plan on making a video of what it's like to use a stereo paired HomePod Minis with the iMac, as well as stereo paired HomePods with the iMac. I think that's going to be a very interesting video, so definitely subscribe as that will be coming out very, very soon. The primary use of this speaker on this table has really nothing to do with like the kitchen workspace, but has everything to do with the home theater setup that I have going on with my Apple TV 4K. I have two stereo paired Dolby Atmos enabled HomePods. I have a center soundbar that's Dolby Atmos enabled, and I also have two stereo paired HomePod Minis kind of just surrounding myself as I'm watching Apple TV 4K content like on Netflix, Disney Plus, etc. So that's really why that's there. And I'm also very excited to make that video, as guys, all I can tell you is that it sounds amazing, and I'm gonna just do my best to show that in video to kind of give you guys some ideas for your own home theater setup in the future. To the far left of my desk, I have my iPad Air resting on an aluminum stand from a company called Satechi. I like this combo because it helps maintain the floating device look on this desk, because if you haven't noticed, my iPhone, Apple Watch, iMac, and the iPad are all elevated. And I wanted to maintain that theme. I think it looks really cool. In terms of the actual function of the iPad on my desk, instead of it just looking pretty, is that I use it as an additional display via Sidecar with my iMac. Really, the only time I do that is when I'm video editing. It's just nice to have a separate window on my iPad for all of my media and clips, while I can leave my 24-inch iMac screen dedicated to just chopping up video and clips and telling the story. I also use the iPad and the Apple Pencil to mark up and write on the scripts that I make here for the channel in an app called Notability. In conjunction with all of that, I do have a paper-like screen protector on my iPad, and it really does make my iPad feel like paper. It's super intuitive. It feels amazing like writing on the iPad. And if you guys are interested in what Paperlike has to offer, if you do own an iPad, I will leave a link in the description down below for you to check it out. So overall, from the front of the desk, it looks fantastic. But what about behind the desk? Where do all of these cables go? They are routed behind the kitchen island and go into a 3-story cart where I have an outlet base there in the middle of it. It's the best that I can come up with. I mean, it looks relatively clean in my opinion, given the circumstances of a kitchen island. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below #iMac if you did finish the video, and I'm gonna heart and respond to you because you're a trooper for finishing. Make sure to drop a like and also subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. We are on our road to 15,000 subscribers, and you guys have no idea how a like and subscription goes such a long way in helping me produce videos here on the channel. But anyways, I will catch all of you guys in another video later this week. Peace.